think of offhand. 116 Madison Street was, Jerry Chili used to like to party a lot. This guy didn't care. He was a renegade. Always, he liked the coke and drinking, and he liked that lifestyle. So that bar was known to be like an after-hour bar. He didn't go by the rules,
right.
2 o'clock. What do you mean 2 o'clock cut off? You know what I mean? Yeah, it looks like it's closed, but it's not.
Right.
Tommy Karate used to hang out in there when he was down. Because what happened was he started dating a girl down from the 4th Ward. There was a little pop-out candy store right on the corner of Madison and I forget the street. I don't know if it's Monroe. It's down the block. It was on Madison Street. It was a pop-out. Remember those pop-out stands like they put right on the sidewalk?
Yeah. The newsstand things?
Yeah, like a newsstand pop-out. So they had a newsstand pop-out with papers and candy and,
magazines and cigarettes and stuff, yeah.
Well, the girl who used to work in that started dating Tommy Karate. He met her through Vinny Bionic, So Tommy was always there at that newsstand, or he used to go to 116. He used to hang out in there. So that's the first time we went to go eat in this Chinese joint on, I think it was on Cherry Street, around the corner from Madison. I sit down with him. There's me, Bionic, and him. And we ordered wonton soup. We started with that. And then we ordered a couple other dishes. That's when I first realized how high-pitched his voice was. Because I'm looking, I got taken back because I'm there and I'm eating my soup, and he started talking. It was almost like he was like, yeah, like he was like not crying, but like a real high-pitched voice. It was weird, you know. I just stopped and looked. Vinny was already used to his voice. Right. To me, it was new. And he was just talking. We're talking about the martial arts because back then I was really into the martial arts. Tommy was into the martial arts. And we were like trading notes on stuff, techniques, stuff like katas, which is form, and different, techniques in karate and stuff. And he was talking about it. And he talked about going to Japan and training in Japan. And people think like, oh, he took karate. I know what he took. He took Goju-Ryu is what he took in Japan. But when he came here to the States, I knew the guy he was training with, and the guy was a Chinese guy who had a system which is Chinese Goju-Ryu. See, there's Japanese Goju-Ryu, and there's Chinese Goju-Ryu. Chinese Goju-Ryu, what it does is it blends in Kung Fu with the Japanese side of it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you look like I'm losing.
Well, I'm paying attention because I'm trying not to make a joke and just letting it go.
Go ahead. Feel free.
Go ahead.
No, feel free. It's an open forum. Go ahead. You can make a joke. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'll save it for later.
No. So anyway, after we start talking about all that, then I started realizing that. So anyway, after I left the dinner, whatever we had, we were in Chinatown. It was that little corner Chinese joint on the corner there. After you walked out of there, Tommy went his way, and then I'm off with Bionic because I know Bionic all my life from my neighborhood. And I told him, I said, this guy talks like that normally? Like what? He says, yeah, that's the way he talks. He talks like, he didn't want to laugh, but he was smiling.
There were some people you don't laugh at.
Yeah. So anyway, I really didn't know much about him, but what had happened was I would run into him in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. Because his girl was there, Bionic was there, 116 Madison, you go hang out there. He was always hanging around Joe Chili. I was real good friends with Joe Chili. Somehow, some way, I would always wind up seeing Tommy Karate down in downtown the 4th Ward when I was there, And then when I would go to Brooklyn, he was good friends with this kid named Billy Bright, they called him. Billy Bright used to run a pot spot on Bay 23rd and Bath Avenue. That the manipulator Bones, I talk about him, my so-called cousin, he grew up with Billy Bright from that neighborhood on Bay 23rd and Bath Avenue. They had a big pot spot on that corner. It was a huge spot.
It was up the block from my mother's house.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, then he had the candy store on the corner. Bones wound up opening the candy store on the corner. He used to go to Bones' house a lot. Bones lived right down the block. He had a walk up. His mother and father were downstairs. His grandmother was down in the basement when she was alive. Nice people. And then Bones had the upstairs, like, you remember those buildings?
Mm-hmm.
You had a basement, then you had a ground floor.
Like
then
a
you had
three-family house. There you go.
So Bones would live upstairs on the walk-up. And a couple times, I was always there. So a couple times when I seen him, Tommy Karate would be up there. We was just bullshit. Not actually bullshit, and talking about stuff, right? So anyway, when he would leave, Bones would say, I don't know why this guy keeps coming here. Like he keeps coming up here and he keeps ringing my bell. He keeps coming up. And I'm like, because Bones was saying this guy's like he's a psychopathic,
I was going to say, was that
guy.
Before or after he was known for being infamous?
This is,
During.
he's, everybody, it's full blown. Everybody knows who he is, what he is, and everything else. But I think what happened was he got close. He would go around Bones. He would go up his house because it was like a safe place for him. Like he felt normal, I guess. I don't know what was going through his mind or why, but Billy Bright, he loved Billy Bright. He was good friends with Billy Bright. And then Billy Bright was good friends with Bones. So I guess maybe he felt comfortable.
Right.
And you go up there, maybe have a drink or something. Like Bones always had like a refrigerator full of,
right.
Beer,
it was just
water.
A place for him to go where he could be, he was comfortable and he could kind of duck out for a little bit. It's like a timeout.
Like a timeout, yeah.
Sometimes, you go you just want to get away and not feel like, everything's going on around you and you got to be worried about.
A couple of times he picked me up in my house, Tommy Karate. We would go train, okay? So I lived on 310 Greenwich Street. So Bionic would be in the car and he'd show him where to go. I come down, they were coming to pick me up, Bionic would beat me, going to be whatever. Yeah, come pick me up. I never forget once I get in this car, and Tommy goes, yeah, he said, I just got all new upholstery in the car. Like, he wanted me to notice, like, he got all, like, new seats or whatever. It wasn't a nice car. It was a normal car, right?
Right.
Well, later on, I read the book, right? It says how he had a guy who used to change out the upholstery after he killed somebody. Like every time he would whack somebody in the car or whatever, he changed all the seats. He had a guy doing that for him. So, like when you actually...
Right, we put it together.
I put it together, like it's surreal because you read later on, but then you were actually in the car with him.
Right, and he's telling you about the upholstery changed out.
With the seats. Yeah. Because the car smelled like brand new. So I said something like, oh, this is brand new. It didn't make sense because the car was used, obviously.
Right, it's an older car, but it's got brand new seats.
Brand new seats. Like I had the brand new car smell. So me, I'm just like nonchalant going, man, this car's like brand new. Smells. No, yeah, I just had to get all the seats changed.
Right, and he was killing people.
So I'm saying, well, then maybe the guy switched out the seats, Well, later on, Bionic told me. He goes, nah, he did something in the car. He got all the seats changed out and everything. I go, oh, okay.
It's kind of like in, what was that, Pulp Fiction, when the wolf comes to save them, clean out the car because there's brains all over the back seat.
So I don't want to get into when I trained with him yet because that leads into a whole nother thing, but that people don't know, right? I'm going to save that for the next one. I know I'm going to get bashed for it, but is what it is. But I can tell you this much. So one night, we're driving in the car, me, Tommy Karate, Vin Bionic, in Tommy's car, coming back from working out. I'm in the back seat, Tommy's driving, Bionic's in the front seat. We're going down West Broadway. There was a joint called the Americana. You ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a hot spot back then. It was like a, Miami type vibe. Yeah. The guy that owned the place was a Greek guy.
Yeah, the Miami Vice era.
Yeah. This joint here was the spot to be, like, before you went out or, like, after you went out. You come back, right? Great food. Everything was, but the place was snowing in there, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody used to go there and sniff. I never partied, so, broads all over the place. And the girl that I was dating here and there was Vic, the boxer's daughter, Jake LaMotta's daughter, Chrissy LaMotta. Wow. She was hot. I mean, she was older than me, but she was beautiful. Anyway, we're in the car, and he goes, we're waiting at a light. So now I told him, I says, hey, drop me off over here. I'll go to the Americana because I didn't live far from there. I could walk home. he sees this kid Rocco's car. Rocco was from the West Side. I forget Rocco's last name, but Rocco had a Mercedes convertible. You know, like
On itself?
yeah, SL. Back then it was like it's a big deal, you know. He's squinting, Tommy. He goes, "Is that kid Rocco's car?" I'm looking, I'm going, "I think so." That's why, you know him? He goes, "Yeah, is he in there?" I don't know if he's in there. If that's his car, maybe he is. He said, "I'm going to come with you." I didn't know if he had a problem with him,
right.
or whatever the case was. But I really didn't like Rocco. Like, I didn't get along with him. I tried to get along with him. I kept it on a high-buy basis, but I really didn't get along with him too good, you know, because the guy was, the way he did business, he was kind of like a beat artist. He was in the drug business, you know, the heroin business. He'd be the type of guy, you know, give him an eighth of a key, you front him, and
He disappeared.
Well, he'd milk you, like he'd fucking pay you like in dribs and drabs. Instead of giving you the $30,000, oh, I don't got it. I'm waiting for the guy to pay me. Can I give you $5,000? Can I give you $1,000? And before you know, it's taking months to pay the thing off. And he made whatever he made. You know what I mean? He was that kind of guy. So I didn't get along with him. Well, Tommy, we walk in the place. It says me, Tommy Karate, and Vinny Bionic. Walk in. Joe D'Amico's there. Joe D'Amico's eyes. Bro, if you talk about, because I don't know what, you see, you gotta understand, I got no conscience back then. I don't give a about nothing. You know what I mean? And Tommy's like, took a liking to me. He's like, come with me. So I walked in there with him, like, what the hell, you know? Joe D'Amico sees him at the door and his pants. Runs right to him and says, "Hey, Tom, what are you doing? Hey, Frank, hey, Vinny," you know, he's...
Who you guys doing here?
Kid Rocco was sitting down at a booth, like towards the end of the bar. He was eating. He looks up. He sees him. Bro turns white. I mean, like, loses all his color, whatever he had. Right? And then Tommy's walking towards him. And then, you know, puts his hand out. Rocco gets up, shakes his hand, and everything else. And then Tommy says, "Let me talk to you for a minute." Pulls him over by the payphone. And you can see Tommy, like, you know, not yelling at him, but you can see him pointing his finger at him.
He's being direct.
Yeah, very direct.
Making sure he's getting his point across.
I didn't hear the conversation, but you could see. Rocco walked around like he was, like, who the hell he was, you know? And he was a tough kid by his own right, you know, but not compared to...
Not Tommy Tough?
Yeah, not Tommy Tough. No.